Aston Martin obviously famous because of James Bond, but what is the love for Aston Martin for you? Is it because of James Bond mostly, or is it because of the history, the heritage, or what is it about it?
Um, well, I've been an Aston fan since I was in the pram. My father loved them. I think one of the reasons he actually got on so well with my husband is because my husband is a big fan of Aston Martins as well.
That's always good, right?
But I don't think it's just. It's not really just the link with James Bond, important as that is for Aston, but.
Yeah.
They are such beautiful cars and the whole history of their development. And if you go back to the origins of Aston Martin, it's just.
Well, tell us a little about it. How did it start?
I'm just sort of talking about the whole origins of the company, where you see people with sort of a pencil behind their ear having an idea of this car. That's sort of very much a sort of a British can-do actor and way of thinking, and that really appeals to me. Moving forward, obviously, I know why you've asked me about Aston Martin, because you want me to give you a sort of a head preview of what cars you're going to see in the No Time to Die in the new Bond movie.
Perhaps.
Well, no, you're not going to get a scoop from me. I'm not going to reveal that. I mean, obviously, you're going to see the updated DB5 with the updated machine guns, but we've already seen that in the clip that's been released. So we've moved forward from the DB5 in Goldfinger. Not that that wasn't a beautiful car, of course it was. So I'm afraid I'm not going to give you any updates on that, except to say, of course, that the theme tune is out today at 4:00.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, so you'll be able to pick that up on my Twitter feed, or indeed on Aston's Twitter feed.
Very good.
But if you're looking for an amazingly beautiful car, look out for one of the 50 on Her Majesty's Secret Service DBS olive greens that were made, finished in olive green. They were made last year, all sold out. I wish I'd bought one.
So who buys them typically? Is it mostly sort of UK car enthusiasts, or is it more global as a market?
Aston Martin really is a global brand, and it's loved globally. It's quite. People think it's just a Brit. Well, it is a British brand, but they think it's just a love here from sort of petrol heads here in the UK. Not at all. Go to Australia, go to Japan. People, Aston Martin, yes, great, lovely. And there's a great following worldwide. But certainly, as I said, look out for one of those, because there were only 50 made, and they're beautiful cars, and 50 globally, which is a very small number, so you're really lucky if you see one. But one of the things I would like to mention about Aston is their intrepidness, because they've moved into, with the launch of the DBX, they've moved into the SUV market. Now, Aston Martin, of course, you traditionally think of this sleek sports car, very much a luxury market, whereas the DBX is an SUV. And I have to say, I went to the launch party, and I was skeptical, and I'm an Aston fan through and through. I was skeptical. The guest I brought with me was skeptical. And as we arrived in the room and they revealed the car, the curtain goes back and the car was revealed, there was an audible gasp in the from the audience, from the guests, and including myself. We all went because it was so beautiful. It really was so beautiful. And I have to congratulate Andy Palmer and his team, because they really have hit gold on that one. Because we got to sit in it, we got to feel it. I do feel sorry for the poor chap who had to polish it afterwards, because really honestly, the finger marks all over it, because it was so tactile. You really wanted to go and hug it. It's so beautiful. But what they have achieved there, and that's quite canny, is they've taken the fun and the beauty of a sports car and the practicality and capability of an SUV and put the two together, which people said couldn't be done.
What's it called? I'll find it here.
It is an amazing car, and it's certainly one that the competition is going to have to sit up and take notice. I mean, I've already got clients who are buying it, so it is one to watch.
Do you get a commission every time they buy it from you? Have you got like an affiliate link?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm quite happy to say that. I do not get commission from Aston. I wouldn't mind if they pay me in cars, but unfortunately, no.
Perhaps they should feature you in the next Bond film somehow.
Oh, yes.
That'd be a dream come true, I can imagine. I'd love to do that.
I wouldn't mind driving one of the Astons. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I was in Geneva a few years ago, and whilst I was there, there was the Geneva Car Show that happens, I think, every year. So I went down to it. I thought, let me go. I was going to book tickets online, but I booked them at the door. and it's sort of like an XL, as big as the XL, full of just luxury cars. So you see you see the Lotus, you see the Lamborghinis, all the supercars, you see the Aston Martins, but the main stage was taken up by Rolls Royce. It was a massive stage, and I think they released their new Phantom. I can't remember what it was, but it was.
Was that the year that Aston showed the Lagonda?
You know, it was, what year was it? It was.
I can't. Don't worry about it.
2015, I think it was 2015, 2016. So perhaps I don't know. But I went there, and it was everyone was circling around the Rolls Royce dealership, and I walked in. I walked to the door, and for some reason the woman said, "Would you like to take a closer look at the car, sir?" So I said, "Okay." Walked in, had a chance to sit down. And it was the Rolls Royce with the removable. The convertible.
Volante, the convertible.
Yeah, the convertible. And they said you can mix and match colors, and if we like the color, we can put it as a main range as well, and we can name it after you. But sitting down in a car like that, it was beautiful. I remember. I didn't have a chance to see many of the other cars, but that took up the stage. And I think for me, I have never really sat in an Aston Martin before, so I may be converted if or when I do eventually sit in one. But when I was in the Rolls Royce, something about these cars, you know, have a. I don't know. There's a sense of separation from the world once you get into them.
Very much so.
I can't explain it, but they did a great job with that car.
I have to say, when I sit in any of my Astons, I just, it's another world. It's just such a wonderful feeling. But one thing I do say is that, and going back to the DBX, is that ability and capability. So they've actually taken it, the DBX is not just a pretty car to look at. It does have the capability of an SUV, and that's a very important point. So they've launched into a new market, and what a market that perhaps wasn't people didn't think they would be able to break into. And it is an amazing car. I recommend people to go and have a look at it.
You Google it, DBX Aston Martin.
It is going to make the competition sit up and take note, as I said. So definitely, when it comes to Astons, I do love the DBX. But obviously, you know, if I could have any Aston that I wanted, maybe I'd go for a DB4 Zagato.
Oh yeah.
Oh, divine car.
Why is that?
I can't tell. I mean, I could go on for hours about various parts of it.
Oh,
how
these are beautiful.
It's you know, it's just a love affair.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to bore you now with all the different dimensions of it and so forth. But again, beautiful car.
Yeah.
But the DBS, beautiful car. So again, Aston has moved in, is keeping developing, and it's fresh, it's new, and that's what I really love about it. It keeps its history, but at the same time, it's moving forward. Right? It's innovating.
What do you think? I remember one time when after the Geneva Car Show, I think it was a few weeks after I came back from Geneva, I thought to give Rolls-Royce a call to ask them if they would make it. would they make this car electric? Could they put an electric engine into it? Out of curiosity. And I called them up, and they said they were first confused. Like, why would you want to put an electric motor into this? This sounds good. I said, could it be done? Would you guys be able to do it? I mean, if the price, I mean, would we, obviously you're gonna have to pay more for it, but would you have you got the capacity? She said, I need to find out. I'll give you a call back. I think a week later, they must have tried to find out, and they said, unfortunately, we're not able to do that. But you can do that yourself if you like. But do you think it would be an attraction for sort of the more Tesla types who want electric cars for these cars to innovate into electric?
Well, don't forget, Aston Aston is very much in that market. So
fully just electric, are they fully electric? Some of them.
Yes, but Aston is not just a luxury sports car maker. In terms of yes, obviously, I'm a petrol head. I still love the petrol engine. I'm
like
not going to lie.
The sound of the engine when they rev.
I think they're amazing cars. But they are moving forward. They have looked at the electric. There is the electric option. So, I'm not dishing petrol cars, and I'm not saying that electric is the only way forward. And indeed, on that note, I would say that one of the things in terms of investment. There's been a lot of push for electric cars and so forth. And I think now we are moving into also looking at hydrogen. Korea's looking at hydrogen. So I think what we will see in the future of investment, in terms of not just automotive, but in transport in general, we will see a mixture coming in. So it won't just be all electric. We will see hydrogen, we will see electric, we will see a mixture coming in. I don't think we can just sort of go down one route, and we have to be very careful by as to who is pushing us down this one route as well. That's one of the things I have been advising, that we need to look more closely at all the options rather than just the one. So yes, can you get an electric Aston? Yes, and I'm sure. And Aston are also very good that you can actually ask them to do something if you've got the money to back it up, obviously, pay for it. They are pretty flexible, and their queue department is amazing. I mean, I was at the Festival of Speed and I saw the little Signet, the Aston Signet, which is a tiny little thing. I don't know if you know the Aston Signet, with a V8 engine in it. Going up the hill, and oh my lord, it was amazing.
Wow.
Unfortunately, that is not a marketable car,